Why is one city safe and another one dangerous? Explore America's most dangerous cities and safest cities. What causes these opposites? Geography, demography, or something else? Join us as we uncover the secrets of safe and dangerous cities. Discover how the safest cities maintain security and the reasons for violence in the most dangerous. Explore the harsh realities of the US and consider how to build a peaceful and secure city. Will you discover America's extremes? Using homicide rates as a major criterion, the video reveals the 10 most dangerous cities of 2022. This insightful research elucidates the root cause of the epidemic of violence that has gripped major city centers. As the video goes on, the spectator is hit with disturbing data that paints a bleak image of the towns being discussed. The video begins with a somber tone, stressing the critical nature of looking at homicide statistics as an early signal of potential risk. The ranking of each city is unveiled, along with a brief but striking analysis of the circumstances that have made it so dangerous. Safe cities. The United States of America is recognized for its many different cities, each of which has its own peculiar qualities and degrees of danger. There are a great number of cities strewn across the country, but there are 5 that have been regularly recognized as being among the safest. Cities in California such as Sunnyvale, Irvine, and San Jose, as well as cities in New York City and Inglewood, have earned a national reputation for their dedication to public safety and low crime rates. The crime rate in Sunnyvale is relatively low, and the city's infrastructure is extremely advanced. Irvine is renowned for its beautifully planned neighborhoods, and the city places a high priority on public safety by maintaining a sizable police force and encouraging citizen participation. Throughout the course of recent years, there has been a perceptible drop in the general crime percentage in San Jose, which is the most crowded city in Northern California. Regardless of its standing for having a flourishing social scene, New York City is presently viewed as quite possibly of the most secure metropolitan locale in the US, because of the critical advances that have been made to further develop well-being and security. The city of Inglewood, which is situated in Los Angeles province, has seen a lessening in the quantity of detailed wrongdoings because of local area-based drives and effective policing. These 5 cities are shining examples of how focused efforts towards safety can produce surroundings and encourage peace and well-being for their people and visitors. They serve as an inspiration to other communities that are looking to improve their own safety measures. Dangerous city. Kansas City, Missouri, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Detroit, Michigan, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Baltimore, Maryland, St. Louis, Missouri, New Orleans, Louisiana, and Birmingham, Alabama are included in the list of the most hazardous cities in the United States. These urban communities are infamously attributable to the high paces of savage wrongdoing and different sorts of crime that happen inside their limits. The urban areas of Kansas City, Philadelphia, and Atlanta have all accomplished hardships with posse-related brutality, including crimes and burglaries. From here onward, indefinitely quite a while, the city of Detroit has gained notoriety for having a horror rate, especially with regards to violations against property and rough demonstrations. Both Milwaukee and St. Louis have encountered hardships in lessening wrongdoing, which can be credited to the high paces of firearm savagery and killings in those urban areas. High rates of violent crime, which are frequently tied to drug trafficking and gang activity, have been reported in Baton Rouge, Baltimore, New Orleans, and Birmingham, among other cities. These cities' struggles with poverty, social inequality, and poor access to education and opportunities are factors that contribute to the high crime rates in certain cities. Community policing initiatives, investments in social services, and collaborative efforts between law enforcement agencies and community organizations are all part of the plan to reduce crime and make these communities safer. These steps are intended to make living conditions safer and to give people opportunities for advancement. High homicide rate. When compared to other cities in the United States, certain cities in the United States stand out for having alarmingly high homicide rates per 100,000 people. In comparison to these rates, Kansas City has a lower rate than most, coming in at 34 homicides per 100,000 residents, with Philadelphia coming in close behind with 35. The crime rate in Milwaukee is somewhat higher than in Atlanta, coming in at 43, while Atlanta's rate is 42.5%. Detroit is now at number 50, Baton Rouge is at number 51, and Baltimore is at number 58. These numbers continue to rise. On the other hand, St. Louis's rate of 65 homicides per 100,000 people is significantly higher than the national average. New Orleans has an even higher rate of 72 killings per 100,000 people, while Birmingham is at the top of the list with a startling rate of 73 homicides per 100,000 people. The severity of the crime problem in these cities is illustrated by these data, which also serve to underscore the difficulties these communities face in maintaining public safety. Efforts to solve these problems frequently include the implementation of comprehensive methods that include community participation, initiatives to strengthen law enforcement, and socio-economic interventions. The goal is to make these cities more livable and secure for their citizens by reducing the occurrence of violent crime and creating better settings for them to live in. Decrease in population. Some cities, such as Philadelphia and Baton Rouge, have seen their populations decrease, which can be related to high crime rates in those cities. Concerns regarding individual safety as well as general quality of life have made it difficult for these urban cities to hold on to their citizens, which formerly made them humming with activity. The decrease in population in places like Philadelphia and Baton Rouge serve as a sharp reminder of the negative consequences that high crime rates may have on a community, as they undermine social cohesiveness, economic growth, and overall well-being. This is because high crime rates make it more difficult for people to feel safe and secure in their neighborhoods. New Orleans. Even though it's a city full of life and culture, New Orleans has its share of problems. Eastern New Orleans is one sector of the city that has had a lot of trouble recently, mostly with crime. This little area accounts for over 60% of the city's crime, which is a major cause for concern with locals and law enforcement alike. The alarmed response time of local police force is a major issue in the neighborhood for Eastern New Orleans. The average time for police to respond to a crime scene is a distressing 2.5 hours. This delayed response time not only compromises the safety of locals, but also reduces the efficiency of attempts to prevent and resolve the crime. Tackling these issues is essential for the safety and prosperity of Eastern New Orleans. Increased police presence, targeted resource deployment, and community involvement efforts are all necessary components of an effective strategy. A safer and more secure city is possible if reaction times are decreased and preventative actions are taken to address the underlying causes of crime. Increased violence rate. Birmingham, Alabama has the highest rate of violence in the United States, which is particularly discouraging given the city's low income and economic struggles. The astonishing rate of homicide in the city, at 73 per 100,000 people, has a devastating effect on the local population. There are a number of causes behind this worrying trend. Crime rates tend to be higher in areas with larger income gaps, less available healthcare services, and less available jobs. There is a strong correlation between living in property and engaging in criminal behavior. Birmingham's violence has numerous and multifaceted causes. The situation is made worse by factors including gang activity, the drug trade, and structural inequality. To solve this problem, we need a multifaceted strategy that includes community involvement, increased investment in education and job growth, and focused police enforcement efforts. The city of Birmingham is making an effort to reduce crime, but there are still many obstacles to overcome. It is essential to put the city's citizens' needs first and strive for a more secure and equitable community for all. Do let us know what you guys think of this and how it can change. Like and subscribe if you want to watch more videos like this.